It being 7 p.m, private member statements will now be proceeded with. Are there any private member statements?
Speaker.
I call the member for Baulkham Hills.
Thank you, Mr Acting Speaker. Mr Acting Speaker, I rise to make some remarks about the role of the Return Services League sub-branches and their relationship with the RSL clubs. Mr Acting Speaker, I'd also like to put my remarks in the context of the wonderful commemoration of Anzac Day that we had only last week. You'll recall that it was just over 98 years ago that our forces landed on the beaches of the Dardanelles, and I was reminded last night by the Consul General of Turkey that Australia has been honoured by having that part of Turkey called Anzac Cove. Now, I think you'd be working very hard to trawl through history and indeed around the world to find a former enemy name a geographical location after the invading force. But on the point at hand, Mr Acting Speaker, I'd like to speak about my community's role in the Anzac Day, particularly the role of the Anzac Day commemorations, particularly the role of the Castle Hill RSL Club, which has over many years become one of the Hills District's great community institutions. Few organisations have had an astounding and commendable record of continuous community service in the Hills as Castle Hill RSL Club. With more than 32,000 members, including more than 600 sub-branch members, Castle Hill RSL is in many ways the backbone of the Hills community. Serving as a director of Castle Hill RSL Club and as a result, and of course, therefore as a returned serviceman myself, I have been rewarded, and I am very proud to be associated with this great club as it serves the Hills District. Each year, Castle Hill RSL makes significant contributions to almost every community cause imaginable. It has been particularly pleasing to be able to witness this community contribution. Being an RSL club that genuinely believes in the ethos of the RSL movement, the biggest beneficiaries of the RSL club's success has been, to many respects, the veterans, and quite rightly so. We give away nearly $1 million a year, but much of that support goes to, a good proportion of that support goes to the veterans community. Each year, Castle Hill RSL Club contributes around $250,000 to veteran support and welfare services. As part of this commitment to our veterans, Castle Hill RSL has even appointed our own Veterans Welfare Officer. In addition, Parramatta RSL Club, as part of Castle Hill RSL Club's group, invests more than $60,000 in veterans welfare and counselling services every year. Of just as much as important is the investment of Castle Hill RSL Club making to the support of the Anzac legend, especially in the minds of our next generation. To this end, each year the club distributes Anzac Day school education kits to educate our children about the spirit of Anzac and the significance of our veterans to our national culture and history. Beyond this, every single member of the Castle Hill RSL Club's board is a former member of the Defence Force, and I pause to recognise the role of Major General Warren Glennie, a Vietnam veteran, retired commander of the 2nd Division, Colonel Don Tate, another Vietnam veteran, who both serve on the RSL Club board. It goes without saying that Castle Hill RSL Club is very proud of its service heritage, and our recent elections saw the return of a serving warrant officer from the RAAF base onto the board. Therefore, you can see that the board itself takes particular interest in the welfare of servicemen and women in all three arms of the military. Considering this, it was disappointing to see media comments suggesting that all RSL clubs neglected their respective RSL sub-branches and the welfare of veterans. This has naturally been upsetting for quite a few veterans in my electorate. As I explained, Castle Hill RSL Club could not possibly be accused of neglecting our veterans or RSL sub-branch members. Such media speculation is unhelpful and undermines the good work of the Castle Hill RSL Club and the work it's doing in supporting our veterans. And of course, I was most disturbed that this occurred in the days leading up to Anzac Day. Earlier today, I met with Don Rowe, OAM, the President of the New South Wales branch of the RSL. He has acknowledged to me that the Castle Hill RSL Club has done a lot in support of veterans and was certainly not one of those offending clubs that the media has speculated fails veterans. I want to make sure that the residents of the Hills District are certain and can be rest assured that the Castle Hill RSL Club takes its responsibilities to our veterans very, very seriously. There should be no doubt in the public mind of the contribution made by Castle Hill RSL Club in supporting the veterans' welfare. I wish to commend all those involved in the support of our veterans, particularly those involved from the club last week in the RSL March and commemoration, and look forward to this record of support continuing well into the future.
We're proceeding with private